global premiere for Top Gun Maverick. Let's do it. Here he comes right now.
Okay, now if you're seeking for some really stunning Hollywood movie premiere events, this must be the top of the top. Paramount Pictures, after 2 years of delaying the Top Gun Maverick movie premiere due to the COVID pandemic, decided to create a stunning atmosphere with an international premiere organised on the USS Midway aircraft carrier deck, with all the stars, air show and brilliant aviation celebration all around.
Top Gun, and being on a carrier is just spectacular.
Tom is as advertised. His enthusiasm for movies is infectious.
The movie will have its global premiere on the 27th of May worldwide, 36 years after the first Top Gun was released in December '86. The story of the movie seems simple, but for aviation fans it is a massive adventure. After more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. Facing an uncertain future and confronting the ghosts of his past, Maverick is drawn into a confrontation with his own deepest fears, culminating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those who will be chosen to fly it. Well, I don't know about you, but I can't wait to hit the cinema for this one. We have one more extremely funny Top Gun news item for today, but we'll show you that a little bit later on in the show. First of all, on behalf of the whole team here, we want to thank all our new patrons who have signed up. Everyone helps to keep this show in production. It really does. Your name checks will be on the screen throughout the show, and if you would like to join them and help to support us, and for the price of a coffee a month, you can follow the link in the description below. We really appreciate it, and by liking, sharing and subscribing, you are personally helping this show to grow. We have a brand new stack of really interesting news items, so stay with us and see what's going on in our world. I'm Regan Tetlow, let's go. The Sailplane Grand Prix in Jar, Poland, which is the first stage of the contest in 2022, is happening right now. Brilliant weather and great landscapes around welcomes all the pilots there for making long and fast flights. So let's see, what are the first results? The first race of the SPG Poland in Jar was in beautiful weather and sunny with cumulus to 22,000 metres. The task was set towards the southeast following the Tatra mountain peaks. 7 of the registered contestants finished the 377-kilometre course. Stanislav Biela won, taking 8 points after coming across the finish line with a task speed of 113.2 kilometers per hour. He was followed by Lukas Grabowski at 113.1 kilometers an hour and Marek Sajuk at 106.3. The second race also had good weather with a similar cloud base, with the task of 380 kilometers, and that's what was set. Of the 8 pilots that finished the race, Lukas Grabowski came in first with a speed of 104.7. Marek Shorshunk and Zisław Banawczuk took the second and third positions. The final results after 8 races will be visible on the spg.aero website. We also have 2 important competition news for paragliding fans. The first one comes from Romania and the second from Slovenia. Take a look. Since last Friday, 58 paragliders are competing in the pre-PWC Sky Dreamers Open 2022, organised in Sakele, Romania. Male and female pilots came to the event from multiple countries, including New Zealand, the USA, Japan, Australia and most of the European countries. The grid is full of great pilots as a preparation stage for the season's World Cup races. After 2 tasks with the average 50 kilometers tracks per each, Romanian pilot Cristian Decu is in the lead, followed by Israel's Vikot Serbedchev and Sevilla Bogdan from Romania. All pilots are flying on the Ozone Enzo 3 wings. In the women's category, all of the podium belongs to the Romanian pilots so far, with the leader Diana Cretă before Emanuela Nica and Fodor Emenesi. Pilots will compete there until the 19th of May. And on this day, the second significant paragliding event will start. This is the Adrenaline Cup 2022 in Tolmin, Slovenia. It will be even bigger with an amazing number of 170 pilots registered and 91 confirmed up until Monday. Kubala is a famous flying site in the Soka River Valley in Slovenia, with the landing place in Tolmin. It is intended for flying hang gliders and paragliders, for sports flying, competitions, events and training hang gliders and paraglider pilots. We're getting closer to the World Games 2022, organised this year in Birmingham, Alabama, USA. And for the third World Games running, I'll be there presenting canopy piloting. It's a massive personal honour to be invited back. We have two air sports in this edition of the World Games, CP canopy piloting and FPV drone racing. The drone races will take place in the Protective Stadium and canopy piloting in the Barber Motorsports Park. Both disciplines will run from the 9th until the 11th of July. And a little bit earlier, I spoke with Christy Nicolay from the sports presentation team about just what is involved in such a big world-class event. Well, let's touch on air sports. That is air sports news while we're here. We've got FPV drone racing. We've got canopy piloting. What can the people who turn up to the events, what can they expect for the show from you guys?
Yeah, well, this is my first time doing these sports. A lot of these sports in the World Games, like, we haven't done before, you know, and there's definitely a lot of buzz around drone racing and around canopy piloting for sure. Like every I think producer and announcer, you know, and I first started talking to them several months ago, I was like, I know these aren't sports that you guys normally do, but you know, take a look at the TWG 2022 website and tell me which sports, you know, like you're interested in. I would say, like, quite a lot of them came back and said canopy piloting and drone racing. So I think there's going to be a lot of you know, excitement around these sports, and unfortunately they're in two different locations, like they're really far away and at the same time also. So I'm going to be running back and forth just to make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, so drone racing is going to be in you know, the brand new Protective Stadium. So lots of bells and whistles there. It's already there in the stadium, so we already have a huge video board there, and you know, all of the equipment that we need. Canopy piloting is going to be at Barber Motorsports Park, which I'm not sure if you've been there yet. Have you been there?
I've been on Google Maps. I've had a look.
Okay. Well, when you go, well, you will be there. So when you do go there, just it's like this amazing you know, museum that's there. I think it's one of the largest motorsports museums around, or privately owned or something, but it's just stunning, full of, you know, motorcycles and cars, which I know is different than canopy piloting. But anyway, the venue is going to be amazing.
And the full-length interview with Christy is now available on our Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel, where you can find many other great conversations with amazing air sports athletes and people from the aviation industry. By clicking like, share and subscribe, it's always a big like for us, and you can directly help by becoming a patron to Air Sports News. Follow the link in the show description. Thank you. So we talked a little about drones, so now let's take a closer look at the biggest drone premiere in 2022 so far. Chinese producer DJI released a new edition of its lightest drone, the Mini 3 Pro, which, in the customer's opinion, is the most advanced drone ever created in the weight limit under 250 grams. The Mini 3 Pro's camera can capture 48 megabytes photos and 4K plus 60 frames per second video, a first for a drone in this class. Special systems should allow the drone to detect and bypass obstacles, whilst active track programs can promise the ability to select and track subjects, including cars and people. A new special battery gives a staggering 47 minutes of flight, but causes the drone's takeoff weight to exceed 250 grams. And the camera's gimbal gives the ability to change the angle from horizontal to vertical, which gives the high quality and proper format for all Instagram users. The top version of the Mini 3 costs approximately $900 US. Joby Aviation reported on Tuesday that its prototype electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft met the company's noise profile goals during acoustic testing completed with NASA. Results showed that Joby's aircraft registered the equivalent of 45.2 A-weighted decibels from an altitude of 1,640 feet at 100 knots airspeed, which is less than the company expected. Data was collected using NASA's Mobile Acoustics Facility and an array of more than 50 pressure ground plate microphones. NASA and Joby both plan to present technical papers on the testing procedures and measurements at industry conferences this summer. Designed as an air taxi, Joby's 5-seat piloted eVTOL will reportedly travel at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour and have a maximum single charge range of 150 miles. My good friend of the show and gas balloon competitor Walter Schneidner has just had an adventurous weekend in the air with a few other gas balloon pilots. Let's check in and find out just what was happening. I was just looking on Facebook and checking out your feed and Balthasar and Woodsy Wagner. It looks like there was a good bit of gas ballooning going on this weekend. Tell me what was happening.
Yes, there was like a training weekend at the gas balloon starting place in Augsburg in Germany. The friends from Augsburg, they invited us to do this flight. So we started with 2 balloons on Friday night and another 2 on Saturday morning and another balloon on Sunday morning. And for us and for Woodsy Wagner, the intention was like to have a trainee flight for the Gordon Bennett race. So we planned to stay, if possible, for 2 nights in the air and started at about 11:30 at night because this place is very close to the airport Munich. And they closed down at about 11 o'clock and then only then we got the permission till 5 o'clock in the morning to cross the airport. So that's why we started at about this time. And Woodsy went out first 2 minutes before us. Woodsy with his new co-pilot, a very lovely lady. Steffi, hello, if you can see this. And this team is very nice and we hope very, very much they can join us on Gordon Bennett. They've got a little bit troubles because everybody wants them on the race, but the organizer said they were a few days late with their description, But this can't be the reason to not let them fly at the Gordon Bennett. So anyway, so we started then together and we always were in touch to each other. We could see each other the whole night and the whole day. And really we crossed the airport Munich, but it's sensational. And the full-length interview with Walter can be found right now on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click like and share to our content and subscribe, because throughout the summer we're going to be active in many air sports events, and this year we want to release even more content onto YouTube. So click subscribe and stay tuned. And if you can, check out the Patreon page. I want you to join us on Patreon. The link is in the description below. We really would appreciate it. The most crazy general aviation pilots are back in Valdez in Alaska to compete in the most insane fixed-wing sport ever created. Because how can you describe the competition where you need to take off in the shortest possible distance and land in the same way? This is called stall competition, in which you need an aircraft with really low speed flying performance and hard brakes and strong engines and big wheels. And it looks really impressive. Take a look.
Short. Just a warm up. Doesn't count. Yes.
At the beginning of the show, I promised to bring you some really funny stuff about the Top Gun Maverick movie. So this is it. The sling piston aircraft producer decided to recreate the Hollywood movie trailer using their own aircraft, actors and ideas. The result is quite funny. Take a look.
You should be sitting back with your slippers and pipe by now. Yet here you are, still trying to prove yourself. Why is that?
It's one of life's mysteries, Mike.
Yeah, that trailer does look really cool. Maybe you need to create your own full-length movie. Think about it. And in the meantime, we're going to move on to our Hall of Fame section. On the 15th of May 1918, the United States Post Office Department began regularly scheduled transportation of the mail by air. The first flight departed from Potomac Park Polo Field near Washington, D.C., heading to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On the 15th of May 1918, the prototype Packard Lepre made its first flight. It was a single-engine, two-place, two-bay biplane, which was designed by a French aeronautic engineer, Captain Georges Lepre. The new airplane was built in the United States. And on the 15th of May 1930, Elaine Church became the first airline stewardess on a Boeing air transport flight from Oakland, California to Chicago, Illinois. Miss Church had approached Steve Simpson at Boeing Air Transport to inquire about being hired as a pilot, but Simpson turned her down. Between the 13th and 15th of May 1938, the Gosgan long-range monoplane established 3 FAI world records for speed and distance. Duration of the flight was 2 days and 14 hours with an average speed of 116 miles per hour and 7,200 statute miles covered. Once again, we want to say a massive thank you to everybody that has signed up to join us on Patreon for the show. With your help, we can keep bringing our weekly news show to you. And it's now been 110 weeks in a row without one break. Can you believe it? Have a look at the description below for the Patreon link. Over the price of a coffee per month, you can really help and you can join the team. We'll see you back again here next week for the start of Season 12. In the meantime, I'm leaving you with a stunning wingsuit flight through the clouds and of course, my favourite sign-off. Stay safe and keep your eyes on the skies.